By marrying Constantine the Greek, Anne-Marie renounced the title of Danish princess, her country, and her family, but her sister Queen Margrethe always supported her. Pictures from the marriage of King Frederick the Ninth of Denmark and Queen Ingrid, who had to change the law so that a woman could inherit the throne. 3 princesses were born: Margaret, Benedicta, and the youngest, Anne-Marie. But the one who always got her way was the youngest of them all. Even Queen Margrethe, if you can call her a calm monarch at all, before she pouted on the day of her abdication. She was only seen crying after her husband's death in 2018, after 40 years on the throne, has repeatedly shown that she feels loyalty to her younger sister, former Queen Anne-Marie of Greece. But to appreciate that affection, you have to pay attention to small details, not least because we are talking about a lady who has refused to use a cell phone or computer all her life and is incapable of sending a simple text message or making a phone call. She only calls if she needs something special, Anna Maria from Greece explained in an interview with a Danish publication. One time she called me from her cell phone. It was from the car, and I was very surprised, the youngest of the Danish princesses told the publication. And that seems to be the Danish queen's love language, small details in which to look for hidden meaning. Although they lived in the same palace, the 6 years difference between the older sister and the younger one meant a monstrous distance in their childhood. To further exacerbate the gap between them, Anne-Marie met the love of her life at the age of 13, and once she reached adulthood, gave up everything to marry him and become Queen of Greece. By marrying King Constantine II on September 18, 1964, Anne-Marie gave up her family, her home, and her rights to the Danish throne. 3 years after this marriage, she would also lose her new homeland and crown. In December 1967, at the age of 21, a mother of 2 and pregnant with her third, Queen Anna Maria of Greece was forced to flee in the middle of the night into a long exile that took her to Italy and then London. By the time of the Greek overnight disaster, the other 2 daughters of the Danish kings had already married, like Anna Maria, hastily and for love. Perhaps it was when Margaret fell in love, married, and saw how difficult it was to be queen that she began to empathize deeply with her younger sister. Princess Benedicta was a very different matter and a reflection of unequal treatment. In 1966, Princess Benedicta fell in love with a German prince who was 10 years older than her, Richard Wittgenstein-Berleburg. Around the same time, Margaret lost her feelings for a French diplomat named Henri Montpezat. In the style of the younger of the family, the princesses married for love to their respective conquerors, but whereas Anne-Marie left Denmark without a backward glance, Benedicta remained 100% a Danish princess, fulfilling her duties as a member of the Danish royal house, no matter how much her husband complained. "She's not very nice to me," the German admitted in an interview after overcoming cancer without getting much attention from his wife. Benedicta, like Margaret, has always put her duties to the crown above her personal life. So much so that when Richard Wittgenstein-Berleburg passed away, his wife was not by his side, and instead she dealt with the events of a busy Danish agenda. At the time, she was the visible and diplomatic head of 30 sponsoring organizations in her country. And what to speak of Queen Margrethe's commitment to her position, and a monarch who deprived her own grandchildren of the title of Princes of Denmark, although the same title is held by the children of Anne-Marie of Greece. Margaret expected her sister Benedicta to help her represent the Danish royal family since her own husband refused to take on that role, but her role in her relationship with Anne-Marie was quite different. She protected her from a distance. Margaret moved her wedding date by 2 months so that the pregnant Anne-Marie could give birth and attend the celebration in comfort. Before the exiled king settled in London, they spent some time in Denmark. When the Greek people voted in 1974 to abolish the monarchy and not allow the kings to return to the country under democracy, the Danish queen turned her estate in Jutland into a summer retreat for the Greeks. And when Anne-Marie, Constantine, and their children were stripped of their Greek citizenship, she issued them Danish passports. Even when the princess's mother, Queen Ingrid, died in 2000, Margaret said nothing when, in dividing the inheritance, Anne-Marie kept her mother's favorite jewel, a Cartier tiara that the women of the family, including Margaret, wore to their weddings. For her part, after Anna Maria's widowhood, she began to be seen more often in Denmark at private events. In November 2023, she attended an advanced screening of The Snow Queen, a play for which Queen Margrethe had designed the costumes. A couple months earlier, in September, the sisters sans Benedicta traveled together to a birthday party for King Carl Gustaf of Sweden. And although Anne-Marie canceled a traditional vacation with her sisters at Castle Gråsten that summer, Danish media confirmed that the former queen of the Greeks spent some time in Denmark before heading home to Greece after the party in Sweden. It's clear that Margarethe and Anne-Marie's relationship will never be like the one the Danish monarch has with her other sister, Princess Benedicta, whom she sees much more often, but over time both women have learned to create their own bond. Whether it's been 2 days or 6 months since we've seen each other, we are immediately on the same page. We certainly have a close relationship, Queen Anne-Marie said. The relationship between Queen Margrethe of Denmark and her younger sister, former Queen Anne-Marie of Greece, is one of complexity and depth. Despite the geographical and emotional distances that separated them throughout their lives, they have managed to forge a strong bond built on loyalty, understanding, and shared experiences. Anne-Marie's decision to marry King Constantine of Greece at a young age led her to relinquish her Danish title and embrace a new life far from her homeland. However, Queen Margrethe's unwavering support and empathy towards her sister remained constant, even as Anne-Marie faced challenges and hardships, including exile from Greece. Margrethe's actions speak volumes about her affection for Anne-Marie, from adjusting her wedding plans to accommodate her pregnant sister to providing refuge and assistance during times of crisis. Despite their differing roles and responsibilities within their respective royal families, Margarethe and Anne-Marie have found ways to maintain their connection, whether through occasional visits, shared events, or gestures of solidarity. While their relationship may never mirror the closeness Margrethe shares with her other sister, Princess Benedicta, the bond between Margrethe and Anne-Marie is unique and enduring. Your small gestures and shared moments, they have cultivated a deep understanding and mutual respect that transcends the boundaries of royalty. The importance of family bonds and support in difficult times is immeasurable, especially when it comes to royal families. In this video, we looked at the amazing story of the bond between Queen Margrethe of Denmark and her younger sister, former Queen Anne-Marie of Greece. Despite the distance and differences in their lives, these two sisters found ways to keep in touch and support each other through the most difficult moments. Queen Margrethe's desire to be by Anne-Marie's side in difficult times, as well as their moments of shared joy and celebration, emphasize the strength and significance of the family bond. May their story inspire us not only to value close relationships among our own families, but also to remember the importance of support and understanding in all circumstances. Thank you for joining us, and see you again.